Welcome to ePathashala. We are now going to talk about urban designing of Ripon building, which was an 100 years old Indo-Sasanic architectural style building, which houses the Corporation of Chennai. They have called for a competition of restoration of the historical landscaping and restoration of building architecture, and then incorporating what was there 100 years back when the old building was designed and executed with the landscape inputs. So it was a very challenging project for us. So how to give you what was there 100 years back was the assignment given to us. So we had designed everything incorporating the existing design features which is there as a historical landscape or Indo-Sasanic architecture, neo-architectural style, neo-classical style. All these things are there. So we took up in landscaping about the Mughal architecture as a concept, as a style to be adopted in landscaping, and then we adopted neo-classical style of architecture for all the building which are going to happen around the Ripon building. So now as you look at it, this was one of the huge sites with 12 acres of land, or if you want mathematics, it is 50,000 square meters of land. So with that large open space available and then large non-building activity available, roads and car parking provision required with 500 to 700 cars and then 800 two-wheelers requirement, plus you need to have a road networking, proper drainage facility, everything going back to 100 years of historical era. So your design input has to be really great in terms of following the norms and usage of natural materials in order to achieve the end result of restoration of historical landscape character. So you can go through the design in detail and then you can really understand what kind of design inputs were given by us and then enjoy the landscaping.
We thought, we'll first restore what it was, then create what is required and mix both the things to suit the present day modern environment. Plus this also need to be done in more on history and architecture, site and context, existing site condition, and we have some kind of a concept. You have to evolve from a concept. Then what is design requirement? We have different requirements are there, as I was talking about rain harvesting, connecting pathways, central open spaces, car parking, like lot of things are there. Then we have design intent, what is that we are going to do. Then we have a landscape master plan, circulation, which is also very important. How do people come in, go out of this place? Then we have to think about material plate, what are the different kind of material, color code we are going to use in this particular building. Then as I was talking about rainwater, stormwater management plan, lighting also, what kind of lighting you are going to use. Then planting plan, what kind of plants you are going to use. Then irrigation network, how best you are going to conserve the water requirement of all the plant material. Then compound wall, which has to be see-through compound wall. You cannot have a high-rise compound wall wherein you hide everything. This is a corporation where the transparency is more important, so you have to have a low-level compound wall with a grille arrangement so that you see through what is happening inside. Then cross-section of the building, street furnitures, you need to have a drinking water facility. All those other facilities require people to sit, some benches and other facilities which are required for the building need to be taken care. Ripon building is the seat of Chennai Corporation. Ripon, a heritage building. It's a fine structure in Indo-Sasanic and neo-classical style. This building was commissioned in the year 1930 and derived its name from the father of the local self-government and Governor General of India during British time, Lord Ripon. The building is basically a rectangular building in those days. roughly 279 feet long and 105 feet wide. The total floor area is approximately 90,000 square feet, roughly around 2 acres of built up area. See the grandness of this particular building. This is what it was historically, how it was looking in those days, talking about going back to 100 years. In 2012, they have taken up major renovation was initiated under the Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission to preserve the building's original grandeur. And under this scheme, they also built another annexure building of 12,540 square meter that will take care of all the other building activity which are all there right now, which need to be demolished, which do not blend to the architecture of the present situation. That was the basic intent of this particular assignment. So ribbon building is a fine structure in the Indo-Saracenic and Neoclassical style architecture. It's a smooth blended of Ionic, Gothic and Corinthian. The features of the building that identify its architectural style as Neoclassical are basically we are talking about symmetry, balanced, use of columns on the facade, pediments, semicircular arches, emphasis on planar quality. The elements in the building belong to neoclassical architecture are highlighted in the rectangular shown, which are all neoclassical styles. Features in the building that identify its architectural style as Indo-Saracenic. There are two things. We are talking about neoclassical and Indo-Saracenic. The Indo-Saracenic comes under clock tower, which is marked in a blue color, internal courtyards, paired colonnade arcades. These are all become a part of Indo-Saracenic style. It is a mixture of both the style, but it's a very elegant building. These are some of the elements which were present in the old days. Now it is not there. What you see in the first is a monumental thing are there. And these are all the compound wall, how the compound wall, the high rise structure which is missing now need to be reconstructed. And then you have a cannon, the compound wall style, grill style, which was there 100 years back. So how are we going to recreating them? That is more important. Now cars are parked in a facade way everywhere, wherever space is available. Again, your trees have grown in a different shape as the sunlight angle changes because of the existing buildings. There are 4 statues of eminent personalities are housed in this particular facade of the building, which need to be organized. It's a basic site plan. Now we are showing you the site plan view, but first we will see the site boundary. This is the boundary, roughly around 12 acres of area. The heart of the city corporation of Chennai is holding around 12 acres. It's itself very big area, but we have to use them very effectively, which is more important. We talked about the boundary line, then we have the roads, major roads, Pondamalai High Road, and then we have internal access roads are available. We have a railway station, Central Chennai Railway Station is next to that, Reservation Complex is next to that. So all those very heritage road, this is a more of a heritage road. So how are we going to attack? Then we are talking about internal roads. These are all the yellow colors are internal roads. Then we are talking about heritage building. The Ripon building and Victoria Hall both are heritage buildings. Then these are all red color one, which are all proposed buildings. And we are talking about other heritage buildings. We have a heritage building called Madras Central Station is a heritage building. Then next to that we have an NGO building that is also a heritage. Then just opposite to Ripon building we have heritage buildings are all there. So these are all the purple color which need to be demolished in order to give way for the new landscape development. Then this is the whole entire area need to be landscaped. Then existing tree cover and greenery survey drawing. Some design concept, we will talk about the design concept. We have 2-3 activities which is going to take place here. We are talking about we have to build some buildings in terms of connecting corridors, in terms of car parking, then in terms of canteen or restaurants or eating places. Then your landscaping is going to be Mughal architectural style because it's squares and rectangle, which will give guidance from the building. You have to take the hint from the building that building is more important than your landscaping. So landscaping has to be subdued, and but Mughal architectural style landscaping need to be done here. What is design requirement? The landscape design, circulation, multi-level and basement parking area is required. Then we are talking about stormwater drain network, rain harvesting is a must, and what kind of material we are using, planting plan. Then you need to have an irrigation network, electrical design, canteen, library and play courts. People also need to relax in that area. Then you have a adjacent building which is a Victoria building, you need to do the landscaping. Then your street landscaping, which is more important. All these things will contribute to overall design requirement. Design intent, basically what are we going to do? Circulation. Entry strategically located considering the metro and bus terminals. Separate entry for VIP, staff and visitors for security reason. So staff and VIP entrance need to be segregated so that everybody cannot enter in every access available. Then only you will have that overall control of the people entering the building area. The width of the road is also equally important. We need fire tenders to move around. Then we have to have a proper clockwise circulation so that people can enter from one direction and go from the other direction, or they can move around in a different way. Then you need to have a connecting pathways which also has to be covered so that rain or shine it can work properly. Then your material is whatever natural material we plan to use here, use of granite stones. Color theme, what color we have to use, shades of grey to complement the heritage building. And rainwater harvesting. So rainwater harvesting pits and ponds are proposed to harvest all the rainwater generated within the site. Planting, how to go about tree planting and shrubs planting. All the existing trees to be either retained or transplanted, and use of native plants. Lighting, use of unimposing facade lighting to lit the heritage structure. No pole lights are recommended immediately next to the heritage building, and if possible we like to use some solar lighting also. Structures, all proposed structure in the landscape complement to the style of the ribbon building. Old demolished structures need to be recreated. Signages and street furniture also equally plays an important role. You need to have benches for seating purpose, drinking water fountain, signages to go to different places. You should not get lost in the campus. That is more important. So basically the concept is front yard landscaping, the main building courtyard landscaping, central courtyard landscaping, then you have multi-level car parking, new building, food court, visitors parking, Mooligai Vanam or herbal garden biodiversity. Then you have a rainwater harvesting pond, or we call it a kolam. All these things required to be added in this particular campus. The kolam and all those things are provided mainly as a showcase for the public to view that we are doing rain harvesting. Apart from rain harvesting holes provided all over the site, the excess water will come and get collected in the kolam. and from here it can go into the normal rainwater drainages provided all along the streets. So that is more important. Plus your car parking, your courtyards, all these things will contribute to the restoration of this particular campus, to bring back the glory of this particular campus is more important. So basically we have given a requirement of something like VIP car parking some numbers, visitors car parking some numbers, visitors two-wheeler, staff parking, basement two-wheeler parking. So a lot of different types of parking have been provided. So apart from that also, if you look at the length of the road, it's quite big one. So you have enough parking to take care of all the parking requirements. And the entry point also, need to be organized in such a way, VIP entrance, staff entrance, then visitors entrance, all these things need to be organized in such a way so that the overall circulation will not affect the traffic flow of this particular area. So now you can see the different color pattern for the different entry points. Next to this we have an Victoria Hall. There also you need extensive landscaping. This also become an exhibition center once the entire campus is developed. Now you can see the overall planning. Parking, multi-level parking provided on the northwest side, but ultimately it is going to be on the northeast side mostly. So these are all different options provided by us. So we are talking about front area landscaping now. What is going to come up in the front area? It's more important. You have a flag post, you have a reflection pond, have a structure which was there when the building was constructed, has been removed because of the metro rail. So all those things need to come up. And we also wish to organize the statues in a way so that it need not be haphazardly placed. So whenever you are going to respect the person with garlanding a statue, you have a lined up and people can stand and then do the honoring. Then you have a large reflection pond of the building. Then you have these are all the different elements we are talking. What you are seeing in the right hand side is a firefighting equipment. Then this particular structure was there in those days as a monumental structure to be recreated, this one. And then you have a cannon, you have concrete balls, and you have a pattern for driveway. See, all these things are required in order to restore the building of its own glory. And here, very, very important while doing a landscaping or urban design in this particular campus, our objective is mainly to give importance to the building, not to the landscaping. Landscaping has to be very, very subdued, very, very minimal. You can see that it's an open landscaping because people have to see from the road that this building has been landscaped well. So you can see the overall picture how it will be landscaped. With the compound wall, what was there has been reproduced. You can see the 3 statues and 1 statue in the front with the national flag. And now we come into the central courtyard. So what is required in the central courtyard is basically this courtyard need to be connected with the annex building. So you need to have a covered walkway. So this covered walkway comprises roughly around 60 to 80 meters of walkway. People need to walk from this building to this building daily, so many number of times. So you can have a good walkway, covered walkway you need. Then this central open space can become a lawn where it can host up to 20,000 people. Very huge area with seating facility available. Then you are going to have a memorial pillar to mark the centenary celebration of ribbon building. So all those things, will have a lot of impact on the landscaping development. So you can see some of the views, some of the pavement which are being used by us for developing this particular building. Yeah, now you can see how this whole thing is being developed with different materials, different seating arrangements, grass is being laid out, people are walking and central trees is being provided, and there is enough space for the corporation to do their show of things where they need to have a small hoarding space where they can hoard their developmentals, their programs, all those things can be all along the wall. This being the central open space, how does it look? The overall picture, how the connecting corridors will take place, how the lawn area is there, how a stage has been there. Then we are talking about food court and herbal garden provided on the northeast corner. People need to eat during the lunchtime. They have a excellent canteen where most of the food is prepared in an organic way. Then existing tree groves can be converted as a herbal garden with tree court and seating for the outdoor dining purposes. You have a nice canteen with parking facility. And more so, we need to provide a drinking water facility all around the campus. Have tree court, entry point to the canteen building. Building also designed in such a way it reflects the Indo-Sarsanic architectural style. So you can see that everything comes up in the same style with the flooring, with footpath, flower beds, squares and rectangle. Mughal architectural style has been followed here. And we are thinking in terms of multi-level car parking. We have to accommodate something around 500 cars and some 700 two-wheelers. How are we going to accommodate that? That design has been taken care. Multi-level car parking. Then we are talking about Victoria Hall landscaping. What is that? Next hall need to be landscaped. We need to have a proper circulation, number one. You need to have an ambience of space with the undulating lawn and a water body. Then the entry and exit points with the proper car parking and two-wheeler parking. Plus a tree court for the people to sit and enjoy. And you have a kolam or pond where people can sit and watch the water, like Padithurai and other things. These are all the fountains and paving patterns used Victoria Public Hall. This is how it looks when everything is being finished. And what are we going to do? What are you seeing at the present day? How it will look in future with the same environment? So the same thing will look like this in the days to come. The same thing will look like this in the days to come. Yeah, same thing, this building will be raised down and then you have the corridor, connecting corridor coming up. Again, the existing canteen building need to be raised out and new facility is being created there. Then we are talking about a material plate. What are the different types of material used? Basically, we are looking at grey color combination. Somewhere we try to use some brown color so that some contrast has been given. rainwater management, how the drainages run, how the rainwater percolation pits are provided. Everything has been very, very detailed out so that in future nothing should go wrong. Your lighting, what type of lighting you are, no uplighting, only uplighting for the building, some small posts or anything will be provided. So these things will take care of most of the lighting. Different type of light fixtures in different locations. Then irrigation network plan, how the irrigation is going to happen. Compound wall detail, how it was there 100 years back and we are trying to reproduce the same thing. How the different levels are happening. We are going to dig up a huge double basement level under the car parking. The entire soil need to be used, so that soil will be used for filling up the courtyard area. And planting, different types of plants are used. Planting plants, different types of plants, shrubs and trees and palms and things like that. Hedge planting, planting plates. Entire planting plant, trees, palms and things like that are planted. Then shrubs. We can take herbal garden. Topiary. Then we need to have a composite pits for the solid waste management. And most of the architectural elements, what are there in the building, what are we going to use them in the building, which is more important. Then we are talking about signages and street furnitures, different signages for different places, how the people can go around the campus.
As you have seen the entire proposal, and we are also planning to have a proper drainage facility, rain harvesting and all those natural conservation measures taken up in the overall site. You will see that this particular building, once the landscaping happen, will be a showcase notice for the public to see, and it will also be a milestone for Corporation of Chennai to show to the public that they can do a wonderful job. Thank you.